Hello folks, Stephen Kunkel here, kunkel321 on the forums and here on GitHub. I'm just demonstrating AutoCorrect2, a kind of beginner setup and introduction to the app. So AutoCorrect, it's similar to the thing on your phone where you type on your phone and it offers word suggestions and then potentially applies one of the word suggestions for you. But this one is more like the autocorrect from old versions of Microsoft Word that runs in the background silently and then does replacements without prompting you. For example, mistype the, so TEH, and as soon as I hit space, it gets corrected. Same thing with and, NAD, corrected. And so, yeah, so that's autocorrect. This is an AutoHotkey version 2 script, and there are plenty of versions of autocorrect that are written in AutoHotkey around on the internet. This is mine, and so you can try this one if you want. So here on GitHub, we're at kunkel321-AutoCorrect2, and I'm not a GitHub expert. The way I know how to get someone's repo is to expand the code button here, and at the bottom is download zip. And what that will do is download a zip file containing all of these sub items. And so I recommend downloading that and putting it in a location that's easy to remember and access on your computer. For the purposes here, I've just left it in the downloads folder. And here it is, autocorrect2-main.zip. So right click on that and choose extract all, which I have done already, and you get something like this folder here. So open that up and hopefully you'll see all of these different subfolders inside of here. And so I'd like you to pay attention to a couple specifically. There's core and there's data. So core has some AHK files and some EXE files, and you might not be able to see those extensions depending on your Windows settings, but do notice that often when you see an EXE next to an AHK like this, it's because someone has taken the AHK, the AutoHotkey file, and compiled it into an EXE so that the EXE can be ran. That's not the case here. What I've done is I've taken the AutoHotkey.exe from the download site and put a copy of it in here and renamed it to match the AHK file. So when you do that with AutoHotkey files and scripts, double-clicking the exe will run the AHK file of the same name. And so that's what we have here. So both of those files have to stay in there. And if you want to rename one, you have to rename the other too. But don't rename them. So double-click the exe. You hear a beep beep. There it is, the startup announcement. And then also in this folder, you'll see the MC logger. That's your manual correction logger. We're not even going to start that for now. We'll save that for a different screencast. I do have it always running in the background on my computer, but it's probably no point in doing that unless you know what it's for. So either read the help file in the documentation folder, or just wait for the screencast on that. Also in the core folder here is the hot string lib, and that is the one that contains all the different definitions for the autocorrections. For example, the misspelling of the and that we just demoed a moment ago. Okay, so going back up a level, I'd also like you to take a look at the data folder. And so this contains several different things. It has the logs. So as I said, the autocorrect system here is focused around fine-tuning your own custom autocorrect library of items, and that involves doing some logging and analyzing the logs. Again, won't get into that too much today because this is just a beginner setup video, but do look at the acsettings.ini. So ini files are from the old days before the Windows registry. App settings would be saved in an ini file, and then when the app restarts, those settings would be read from the ini file, and therefore you could save settings between sessions, and your app would just remember your preferences. And so that's what this is also. It's the preferences for the autocorrect app. So AC for autocorrect, of course. So having said that, let's go back to our thing here, and the main hotkey for the hot string helper is WinH. So hold down Win key, press H, and get this. Now, this tool is for quick entry of new library items, whether they are autocorrect entries or boilerplate template entries. Kind of advanced stuff, I guess. We're not even going to really use that, but check out the exam button. The exam pane is for fine-tuning autocorrect items, and we'll do that in a future screencast. For now, I want you to right-click the exam pane, and you'll get the secret control panel. Yes, it's a big secret. Don't tell anyone. Lots of different tools have buttons in here. There's a shortcut to open that hot string library that we were looking at, hotstringlib.ahk. But for now, I want you to go down, and there's two of them I want us to look at. There's the Configuration Settings Manager, and then there is the Check GitHub for Updates. So first, the Configuration Settings Manager. We looked at that ini file, settings.ini, that remembers the settings. This is a front end. It's a graphical user interface to edit that ini file. So make changes in here, and the changes are written into that ini file, and then they affect how the autocorrect app works, right? So a little help window down here for the different keys. And so AC system, autocorrect system, is the one you want. And notice the very first item is enable logging. So if you're not interested in the customization options and fine-tuning your own autocorrect library of items, you probably just go ahead and double-click this and just disable logging. And if you do that, it will, and then save, it'll tell you, uh-oh, it wants to restart autocorrect exe, so I'm going to choose yes. You'll probably hear that double beep again, startup announcement. And so now this time, let me close this and Win H again, and probably some of those buttons will be gone. Yeah, some of the autocorrect analysis, autocorrect log analysis items are gone because I turned off that setting. So for some folks, if they want to just not worry about any of the settings or the customization or fine-tuning the autocorrect library, they just want to just delete the whole folder and then just download the new one whenever there's a major upgrade. That's fine, you can do that. But if you do, and if you don't utilize that logging features, go into the settings manager again and go to AC system. And again, every time if you get a new version, new download with the new ini file, this will be set to 1 again, and so you'll have to disable it each time. Myself, I recommend keeping it enabled, and so you can analyze your own autocorrections and see if you have good ones or bad ones, and get rid of them. So save that again. Again, it wants to restart autocorrect. And the other thing I mentioned, and we'll keep this video short, but I do want to show you also the check for, okay, again, right click and check GitHub for updates. And so I went through my folder here that I had already unzipped and actually deleted one of the files so that the updater tool here would flag that for me. And so, by the way, the updater tool here is one of the only things that reaches out to the internet. So there's no malware in here, nothing that sends information back to GitHub or to me or anything like that. There is a chat GPT functionality and built-in dictionary, but that's optional. And you can read about that on the forum, or just go to the look button. If you go to the look button, you'll see the chat GPT thing. Okay, so the thing has gotten the zip file from GitHub, and it's unzipped it and compared the folders. And this is the one that I deleted from my download, and so it's flagging that. It's telling me that there's one on GitHub that I don't have on my computer. So new file. If there were any updated files, newer versions, then there would be another window above this one. And so there's potentially 3 different windows. There's the updated files, which we don't see, the new files here, and then if there's a new version of the library library that appears on the bottom. And the reason I wanted to show you this is because what you'll see is with the updated files, occasionally I'll go through and I'll fix a bug in AutoCorrect, the AutoCorrect script, or one of the included files, or one of the related tools, and so that updated code will be in there, and the updater tool here will flag those, and it'll pre-checkbox the items that have been updated. If one of the log files, or if the AC settings INI is found, it'll be unchecked by default. So just be extra careful if you have made a bunch of settings in the setting manager. Then if you then use the updater tool and download the INI file again, it'll overwrite your settings in here. So just be mindful of that. Don't automatically download a new INI file, and again, it'll be unchecked by default anyway. So click update, and it'll tell me that it's been successfully updated. And that, I think, that's about we're under 12 minutes, and I think that's enough information now. In another screencast, we'll talk about the logging and fine-tuning and adding your own autocorrect entries. Okay, thanks for watching, and this is Steve signing off.